Next up, we have Al Johnson. As Director of Innovation Technology for Brainjuicer, Al's passion is to push the boundaries of research and find new and improved ways to integrate technology into the research process. Following a degree in business studies, Al spent many years at Mori and Ipsos developing CAPI, acronym, C-A-P-I, like everything else in this world, it's an acronym, online research, research via social media, and mobile research. A regular on the conference circuit, he was voted Best Disruptive Innovator by NextGen MR, and in 2011 won the Mobile Research Conference's inaugural award for innovation and Best Innovation in the MRS Annual Awards. So it's my pleasure to welcome Al Johnson.
It's AJ. Doesn't matter. Al is fine. Let me talk to you a little bit about something we've been doing at Brainjuicer around the mobile space. We love mobile, and a lot of the things that we like about it are things that have already been said today. It allows us to have this amazing view through the eyes of consumers. But you know, there are some issues that we're coming up with on our projects time again, and these are things like, well, when you recruit some people and go out and set them to do a task on a project, well, some of these people do it better than other people. There's a bit of a mix, and these people kind of get one go at it. They're not particularly experienced. You know, it probably takes time to be a good observer of life and report back things in a particularly useful way. The second thing is that the base size is generally small, so you might recruit 10, 20 people to go out there and do that project, and therefore you may not capture that aha moment in the project. So what if we could actually increase the chances of doing that? And rarely we ever really get the chance to take the data that's been collected and use it for more than one occasion. You know, we collect it for a particular client. They may or may not find what they need, and then that is kind of disposed of. And then the third one is that we know that mobile is a great way of being able to collect data very cost effectively, and certainly sort of ethnographically, it's amazingly cost effective. But you collect all this data and it takes an awful lot of time to analyze. So these are sort of three challenges that we're facing, and then we kind of had a bit of a brainstorm and we thought, well, what can we do about it? So we thought, well, what if we turned it on its head a little bit? What if we actually built a large community of people who actually became more and more experienced at observing? They were our eyes and ears all over the world, being able to collect pieces of information and send it back to us. And then we could use this as a very large resource to be able to take to clients and say, hey, these are things that are going on in your area, or we can add them to the project on perhaps some more specific data collection around a particular topic. We go, hey, we've got this whole resource of information that you can also tap into. What if we could actually then take this content that's being collected by the community, and we could have other members of the community look at it and organize it and rate it and be able to get different perspectives on it? Well, this is kind of what we've tried to do. And there are other advantages, I think, for clients here is you're able to get to a much larger number of people. So what if you are able to, let's say, look inside the fridges of thousands of people within 10 minutes, because this has already been collected information. I think this helps to get at the emotional brand. I think a couple of presentations ago, someone said that a really good trigger for being able to capture things is around emotion. I completely believe that. You know, if you ask people to collect things every time they see an advert, well, you kind of prime them for looking at adverts. But if you ask them to do every time you're happy or frustrated, then I think you can get some really powerful, more everyday insights, which then when you pull them together and you start searching them, I think that's where you can find your aha moments. If you're able then to pass this information back to the different people and everyone's able to comment on it, and this goes beyond one country, you get very interesting different cultural feels and cultural takes on what one person says and what another person thinks of it. And then I think also it allows you to start to uncover new research opportunities. And I think I heard from the client session that was before lunch around really, I think the role of the research agency is to be able to go proactively and take ideas to clients and say, look, this is the sort of things that are going on in your category. Maybe these are the things that we need to be doing research on, rather than being reactive and then going to look for a business problem when it happens. So how did we do this? This was our 360 pilot that we did. So we built a small community. It was only about 30 people, and we asked them over a series of 5 days to go out and collect information that they observed about different things. So these were the keywords: authentic, fun, fast, easy, frustration, indulgence, and premium. So each day they had a new challenge to do. Today we want you to go out there and observe everything that you see as being indulgent. They're able to take photos, videos, or just write a note. And they added tags to it. So they might be taking a picture of a frying pan, and then they would tag it with kitchen or cooking or whatever. So you could build up some more metadata around the piece of content that they've collected. Phase 2 of that is then what we did is we selected some of the best examples that we got, and we fed them back to the community and asked them to do 2 things. Firstly, we kind of gamed it a bit to try and make it more fun, is that we showed them the image or the video, and when we showed them a range of options for the keywords and asked them if they could guess which ones of the keywords that picture referred to. And then once they'd done that, we then asked them to do the rating, and I'll go through how we exactly rated it in a moment. Here are some examples. So day 1 was all about authenticity. So we had people capturing lots of stamps there and leather handbags, and there's Pimm's, a very British type drink there in the top right, and some South African dancing. Day 2 was frustration, very popular. The frustration really kind of got people going. We had from people not being able to open packaging to someone going out and getting wet in the rain in 5 minutes. Fun, fast, and easy. Didn't quite work as well. People couldn't really get their head around it. But we had some, as you can see, there's some the Oyster card allowing you to get onto the trains. Indulgence, very much around food, sort of things that people liked and thought were indulging. And premium. So they were the 5 things there. And these were the 30 clips that we sent back around the community to find out more about. So this was how the evaluation phase worked. So you had this bit, and you say, hey, we did it 3 at a time. So people always judge 3 pieces of content. Guess which word it is. They would say here, yeah, I think it's indulgent. And they go, congratulations, you're correct. And then after the 3, it would then say, hey, fantastic, you did really well. You got 3 out of 3. Would you like to do more? And actually, most people did go around and have at least one more go at it. So we had a kind of an average of 6 evaluations per piece of content from each person. And then we took the second part of it, which was basically asking people if they could rate the clip or the image in 2 ways. Firstly, how well do you think it reflected the particular word? And secondly, what's the quality of the piece of clip, as in the quality of the photo or the quality of the video? And both of those were rated out of 5. And then what we did is we did a bit of weighting, and we came up with a number, an average out of 5 number for each one of these pieces of content, and then we allocated stars, so we could see a 1-star or 2-star or 3-star clip. The tags, what we asked people to do is we asked them, this is in the evaluation, we asked them if they could, in 160 characters, describe what they saw in the particular image or in the particular video. And then we asked them to select 3 words that they think best summarize that clip. So we're getting tags, so we're getting multiple people to tag multiple times. And here you can see that in the 30 clips we had, evaluated by 50 people, we had more than 1,000 tags that you could search the different pieces of content on. I talked a little about this before. These were the 5 words. Compared to the number of clips that are uploaded, shows that the authentic one, people couldn't quite get their head around. People really like frustration. And then the average score, so frustration was almost 3.5 stars, or 3.5 out of 5 on average. And at the bottom there is when people are uploading it. We kind of thought that people would be doing it at the weekends because you'd have more time to be on the lookout for things, but it didn't actually work that way. The more popular days were the Thursday and the Monday, and it was very dead on a Sunday. Here's a few examples of some of our high-scoring clips. So here is an indulgent. This is the cookie with the ice cream in. You can see the sort of what we did. This little wordle there of the tags that people assigned to it and the score, and some of the comments that people came up with, 160 characters. On authentic, there we've got one with the leather bag and the feel of it. And then on premium, another similar bag. And then I think the important thing here is this is actually a video. If you could just click on the video in the top left, if possible. Sorry, it's not a sexy YouTube clip, but this is actually me filming my car. Now, I'm very proud of my car. I like my car, and I see it. You know, I spent $5,000 extra to get an M on my steering wheel, and I love it. So I uploaded this, expecting everyone to go, hey, well, that's a really cool car, yeah? But actually, people's basically saying I'm a show-off, paying extra, bad, don't like BMWs. So it really, I think, shows the value of getting other people's perspectives on it, that it's, it's not all of, people don't always view the same things in the same way. Yeah, never mind. So what did we learn from the pilot on it? Well, I think we learned several things. The people enjoyed doing it. The feedback that came from it was that people enjoyed it. They enjoyed going out and hunting out this content. We found out a little bit about the photos were much more popular than videos, and we called it Snapshot, which we're not going to call it in the future, but we think maybe that would encourage photos rather than videos. We know that people were doing this more during the week than they were at the weekends. We understood, because we were doing this in several countries, and I think a couple of the words in Dutch they didn't really understand it. So I think it's very useful to get different cultural perspectives. You've got to kind of understand that some of these cultural references don't necessarily cross borders too well. People really enjoyed the gaming bit, the being able to guess it. And some people, did 30 of these ones. They kept just going round and round until there weren't any more. So, I think and this wasn't really with much of an incentive. And I think if we could start incentivizing based on the amount of work that people do and the quality of the evaluation and the quality of their content, then I think we could build that sort of experience and competence level quite quickly. The 360 approach built up things very quickly. I mean, even on that very small amount, we ended up with an awful lot of content and a lot of tags and a lot of comments about the different things. The scoring, it was, I think we'd probably refine it a bit, but actually it was very simple, and it really did. When you have all these pieces, these clips, and you sort of rate them, and you look at them, you go, yeah, I think actually that scoring system did work. We actually had one of our ethnographers who took part in it, and out of the 5 categories, 4 of the clips were theirs. So I think it does suggest that if we can get the quality of observation up there, then the level of quality of the clips will increase as well. And basically, depending on which topics you do, the scores change. But I think over time, what we would do is we would be improving the quality of that observation. And I think that this would really lead to some great research. So what are we going to do next with it? Well, 2 things is, if you've ever heard Brainjuicer talk before, the people on the right here, the man here who's observing himself, is our way of saying that people aren't necessarily always the best witness of their own behavior. So what we want to do is, as well as capturing what people feel about themselves when they're frustrated or when they're seeing something that's premium. We want people to observe others. We want people to go out and watch what's going on and capture moments and be able to tell us what's going on in the world. And the second thing we want to do is scale it. We did it very small. I think there's something in this. We want to make it bigger. We want to put it across different cultures. And here's the numbers. So we did over 7 days. We did 5 days and a couple of days just to pick up extras that people uploaded late. We got 100 pieces of content, and if you did that, if we extended this over 10,000 people in 5 markets, then you could get millions of pieces of content that could be there to be used at any time for any project that a client would want, or proactively take research to clients. And finally, you need to be able to sort this information out. So, the scoring helps, the tags help, but what we need to do is build an interface that allows you quickly to be able to type in sort of a Google type thing that allows you just to say, I want to find out frustrations, and I want to find out frustrations in the kitchen, and then it would return not just all of the things that are relevant, but how relevant they are based on score and based on the number of tags and comments on it. And we really think it could be a very powerful tool to really find insights on anything that you want to do. We're already now doing it for a technology client who's looking to uncover new products, new product development areas. And they always say, well, we ask people what they want about new phones, and they tell us, and everything's quite sort of cliched. But really what we want to do is we want to spot those everyday moments, and then that will give our designers the inspiration to then come up with a new technique. So that's kind of what we're really using it for. And that is it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
After you collected images, clips, you said you picked the best ones, best being quality, or, is there any bias in, oh, we like these ones, we're going to pick these?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we kicked out any ones where the image was so poor that it just wouldn't have passed the quality test. And this stage is done by the researcher, because part of this really is about trying to take away some of the work that the researcher needs to do. So we have two stages where the researcher is required. One is that initial cutting it down and getting rid of the ones they really don't think are valid, and that was done by the researcher. And then the second phase is, once you've got all the scoring, to then sort of dig deeper and start telling the story of it. So we did have some expertise in removing the ones, and that was done by sort of ethnographer-trained type people.
All right. You were talking about, in the initial slides, you said right after recruitment, you need to go through some training or some learning. Can you explain a bit more about that?
Well, we didn't really do too much training on it. We wrote a briefing of what we wanted people to do. We gave them a couple of examples of the sorts of things. But really what we think is that the training is going to come through the experience, because we'll get people feedback on how well their clips did. My thinking would be that people could be rewarded not just on the score of their clips, so that maybe anything over 4 gets you a bonus score, but also, and I'd love to see this happen, is that each time you use a clip for a client or in a commercial way, that someone might get rewarded for it. So I think by getting feedback on it, and also by the motivation to be better and getting a score, I think that's where people will get better, and just keep doing it and working out what works and what doesn't work. So if this is going to work for thousands of people, we're not going to be able to individually train people. So it's, people didn't get too much training to begin with.
Hi, this is Carol, Olive Tree Research. Thanks, it was a nice presentation. You gave a really good example anecdotally about the difference in how you perceived a picture and then how the community perceived the picture. But I'm curious about any broader learnings from an overall standpoint on how pictures were tagged generally by individuals, and then how it changed when it moved to the community.
Yeah, it was a bit mixed actually, and maybe this is why we need to build in slightly more guidance for it, because some people would tag how I imagine people would tag it, so that if it was a frustration, they would tell us where they were, because that would be quite a useful tag. But things were a bit random. Some people tagged it factually, some people tagged it quite emotionally. And again, then back in the evaluation stage, people were pretty random as well. I mean, the question that we asked for 160 characters is, how does this make you feel? Some people said, it makes me feel excited or angry, which was kind of what we wanted to get at. Other people just gave us something which really wasn't very valid at all. So I think there probably needs a little bit more guidance around making the most out of the tags and the comments that we're able to use in the research environment, I suppose.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Cheers, thank you.